Hi, I'm Dana Stewart. I'm one of the founders of Mad Hippie. Here's a picture of me with my husband, Sam, the other founder of Mad Hippie. We started Mad Hippie 15 years ago, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit about our story and to talk a little bit about our products. So to get started, we started 15 years ago. We actually began Mad Hippie when we were living abroad in Central America. My husband loves to surf, and we were out in the water every day and out on the beach a lot. And we were really starting to notice some serious changes in our skin. And the impetus for starting Mad Hippie was really to create a really clean and effective line of skincare for people who were spending a lot of time outdoors. And initially we thought we were creating a skincare line for surfers. So we really wanted to create a very abbreviated line, just a handful of products, really focusing on clean ingredients that really helped the skin recuperate from sun damage. So we started with just a handful, and we started marketing them to the surf community. And that was our initial kind of push into the industry. However, really quickly, we realized that there was a lot broader group looking for products like this. 90 to 95% of what we consider to be skin aging is actually the result of sun damage. So the loss of collagen and elastin that leads to fine lines and wrinkles, the damaged melanocytes that lead to discoloration, all of that at its root is really sun damage. And we kind of consider that to be a natural part of the aging process, but it can be really dramatically impacted by the way that we take care of our skin, the ingredients that we use, the protection that we use. And so, our goal with Mad Hippie is really to make that an easy choice for people, to make skincare easy for people. And so we use really clean ingredients. We use active ingredients. We can clinically test our products to ensure that we're really delivering results. And so I'm going to kind of take you through our Mad Hippie creed. We put this together kind of to talk a little bit about our place within the skincare world. So our place is not in front of a mirror or tethered to a bathroom sink. It's out there living our best life, where beauty isn't all-consuming and no miracle potion can replace a beautiful life. Here we choose to age with confidence, not fear. We push our bodies and nurture our skin, give thanks for all that we have and all that's to come. So again, really encouraging people to get out there, enjoy the sun on your face, enjoy being outside and all of the beauty around us. But let us help you take care of your skin. So that's our goal, to make your skincare choices easy and make it easy to make a healthy choice for your skin. So I'm going to start with our cream cleanser. This was the first cleanser that we created, and it's still our most popular. This is a water-based cleanser, and it really speaks to our philosophy on cleansing, which is really all about taking off all of the things you don't want on your skin. So dirt, obviously, excess oil, any sort of makeup or sunscreen that you might still have on residually at the end of the day. We want to take all of that stuff off, but we don't want to really strip the skin of all of the beneficial natural oils that exist naturally on the skin. So we all have what's called an acid mantle on the surface of the skin, that it's essentially a thin layer of acidic oil, and it serves a really important barrier function on the skin. It stops the proliferation of harmful bacteria, and it keeps the skin hydrated. So you want to cleanse the skin, but you never want to strip all of those natural oils. And so this cleanser, you'll notice, has lots of moisture binding ingredients, things like hyaluronic acid and sodium PCA, a lot of natural oils like organic jojoba and organic macadamia. And then really, really gentle cleansers in it, no harsh surfactants in this one. So it's not going to foam. It's just going to be a really nice, gentle, milky cleanser that takes off all the stuff you don't want and leaves on, most importantly, the things you do want, that thin layer of natural oil on the skin, and helps maintain that low pH that's really important for skin health. Moving right along. Next step, again, when you're thinnest to thickest, the vitamin C toning mist is going to be a kind of a thin product that you're going to apply with a mister. This product is wonderful after cleansing because we tend to lose a lot of natural moisture from the skin right after cleansing. So if you immediately follow with really moisture binding ingredients, you're going to stop a lot of that transdermal water loss that we see after cleansing. Additionally, you're going to find that this is packed with antioxidants. So you'll find all of the products that we really talk about as being part of the morning routine. Those are going to be our most antioxidant rich products. Antioxidants are really your first line of defense against sun damage and exposure to pollutants and heavy metals and all of those things that can cause oxidative stress on the skin. All of your antioxidants are really going to help mitigate the negative impact of that. So you're going to find sodium PCA, which is going to be very moisture binding. You're going to find polyglutamic acid in this one, another super, super moisture binding ingredient. You're going to find vitamin C, a really powerful antioxidant that you'll find in other places in our line too. And then you'll find lots of plant extracts that are really wonderful for reducing the appearance of discoloration. And some of those are ingredients like hesperidin that you'll see here on the first page, which is a plant flavonoid that's really wonderful for reducing the appearance of discoloration. So this is going to be a great one immediately after cleansing, and then really throughout the day, whenever you want a little refresher and whenever you want a little dose of antioxidants. I like to keep this one in the refrigerator in the summer months. If you've ever been to Texas in the summer, then you know it's like an oven here for like 3 months. And so this is a nice refresher. Even in the distance from the car to my front door, I start sweating. So it's nice to have a little refresher and a little dose of antioxidants. So moving right along. This is going to be our vitamin C serum. And I know everybody's familiar with the vitamin C serum. This is definitely the product that put Mad Hippie on the map and the one that we're best known for. And I think, what really brings people back to this product is the results are wonderful. So it's great for folks who are dealing with discoloration, fine lines and wrinkles, people who are out in the sun a lot. Vitamin C is such a powerful antioxidant. It actually, once it's under the surface of the skin, it stays under the skin for 24 to 48 hours, just providing that antioxidant support. So a really powerful and effective antioxidant. We are using a stabilized form of vitamin C that I think sets this apart from some other formulas that you'll find. So this stabilized vitamin C combined with ferulic acid and vitamin E that's such an important trio of ingredients. There's actually an antioxidant compounding effect that happens when you use those 3 ingredients together. So you always want to, try to have that trio of ingredients for maximum impact. And of course, since a lot of our products, we're really trying to do kind of a multi-purpose product and really provide the most benefit out of each product, you'll also find hyaluronic acid in this one. So rather than needing a separate hyaluronic acid serum, you'll find your hyaluronic acid right here in your vitamin C serum. So this is going to be really wonderful for most skin types. You can start this one early. My daughter, who's 15, loves this product. She wears it underneath her sunscreen during the day. And my mom, who's 79, loves this product. She uses it under her sunscreen during the day. So this is really for most skin types. It's again, that stabilized vitamin C that we're using is also pretty gentle on the skin. So this tends to work for folks even who have sometimes sensitivities to perhaps other forms of vitamin C. So great one for most skin types. Courtney, I see that you have a question.
Nope, sorry, accidentally hit that.
No worries. All right, moving right along. Antioxidant facial oil. I always like to talk about the vitamin C serum and the antioxidant facial oil right next to each other because this is, as Steph always says, this is the desert island duo. This is an absolutely wonderful combination for most skin types. That antioxidant facial oil is a wonderful midweight oil. It's a skin balancing oil, so it does work well for most skin types. We get lots of questions from folks with oilier skin or easy breakout skin. Wondering if oils are okay. And in general, you do have to be careful which oils you choose if you have oily skin or your skin tends to break out easily. However, this particular oil blend is a wonderful oil blend for folks who, have skin that needs balancing in terms of oil production. A little bit does go a long way. Some folks will find that their skin does better with creams, others with oils. I personally love this combined with my vitamin C serum in the morning. It's going to be really rich in argan oil. It's going to have pomegranate seed oil in it, which is really a wonderful ingredient for sun-damaged skin. It's really rich in ellagic acid. There's been a lot of research about ellagic acid in sun-damaged skin in terms of helping it recuperate. And then you're going to find a ton of antioxidants in this one again. So everything from, sea buckthorn berry to kiwi and strawberry and goji berry. So lots and lots of wonderful ingredients for, again, reducing that oxidative stress on the skin. So you can actually use this one, layer it over your vitamin C serum, or you can put about a dime-sized amount of your vitamin C serum in your hand, add a couple drops of facial oil, and do it in one easy step. Either of those works, and it feels lovely on the skin. It's also a great primer for your SPF. If you're using a zinc SPF following your morning routine, which is always a good idea, then you'll know that zinc can be a little bit drying. And so really moisturizing under your zinc is always a good idea. This is a good option. All right, moving right along. Cleansing oil. So we're into what, we call the nighttime routine. However, you can use a cleansing oil morning or evening. I usually talk about it as part of the evening routine because it's such a wonderful time to use an oil cleanse. It does a really nice job taking off makeup and any hard to remove sunscreen, anything that's built up on the skin during the course of the day. And it's also just a moment of peace in the bathroom. At least for me, I have a toddler as well as a 15-year-old. So I love to go in the bathroom and close the door at the end of the night and do a nice oil cleanse, listen to a good song. So it's just a great little part of your routine. If you've never oil cleansed before, I highly recommend trying it out. You put a generous amount of this lovely oil on your face. It smells good. It feels good. It's like a little instant facial massage. You put a warm, damp washcloth over the face and you leave it on for about a minute. And then you just gently wipe away anything that's going to come to the surface. And you'll find that you get this really wonderful deep cleanse without stripping the skin of all of those natural oils. So it's just very softening. If you would like to double cleanse, you can follow with the cream cleanser, which is a water-based cleanser. Some folks like to double cleanse. And if you do wear a lot of makeup, then that might be a good idea. But this does a wonderful job of taking off makeup at the end of the day. So if you're somebody who wears makeup, good option. Jelly cleanser, another great one for removing makeup and sunscreen at the end of the day, and another oil-based cleanser. So completely different format. This actually comes out as a gel, and then you mix it with a little bit of water and it turns into this beautiful, rich cleansing milk. I absolutely love this one for nighttime use. However, you can use it morning and evening. It comes in one of those beautiful sugarcane bioresin tubes made of sustainably harvested sugarcane bioresin. It's going to be intensely hydrating. So you're going to find hyaluronic acid, and you're also going to find glycerin. And it's very, very hydrating on the skin. And it does a beautiful job of taking off, all of those hard to remove things on the skin, like sunscreen and makeup. Also smells good. So added benefit. Moving right along. Super A serum. So this is one of my favorite products, and it's one of those ones that I notice when I take a break from it. I'm like, I need to start my Super A serum again. Every now and then I like to skin cycle a little bit. So I'll switch between my nighttime serum some, and I'll use that AHA exfoliating peel. I'll switch with other exfoliating products. I love the Super A serum because it is such a wonderful product for reducing the appearance of uneven skin tone, reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. It just gives you kind of an instant resurface. It's gentle enough to be used nightly. So I do use this one nightly when I'm using this one. Sometimes I'll take a week off and utilize another product in between. I'll talk a little bit about skin cycling, but that's one way to do it. The Super A serum is going to be really rich, obviously, in retinoids. So you're going to have 3 different retinoids in this one. And then you're also going to have bakuchiol, which is a plant-sourced ingredient that functions the same way that a retinoid functions. So really, really wonderful way to get the most out of your retinoids is to use a trio of them, like in this product, because they all work a little bit differently on the skin in terms of what sort of results they deliver. So this one is going to be great for reducing the appearance of uneven skin tone, reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Definitely once you reach your 30s, most dermatologists say, go ahead and start incorporating a retinoid into your routine if you're not already. Again, really helps increase the cellular turnover, which starts to slow down as we get older. So great time to start incorporating it into your routine. So moving right along. AHA exfoliating peel. So this is going to be a wonderful, gentle, nightly exfoliant. Again, gentle enough to be used nightly, just like the Super A serum. You can certainly alternate it with the Super A serum, either nightly or weekly, however you like to do it. AHA exfoliating peel is going to be really rich in alpha hydroxy acids. So you're going to have glycolic and lactic acid, which essentially dissolve the lipid bonds that hold together dead skin cells on the surface of the skin. So kind of dissolves that glue that holds together all those dead skin cells and allows that all to be sloughed off. So it is going to do a really nice job of more deeply penetrating and really, really breaking down all that dead skin. Wonderful product for reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, brightening, obviously exfoliating. As you get a little bit older, your skin starts to thin out more. It starts to become more susceptible to damage. So you do want to be careful about the way that you exfoliate the skin. You don't want to over exfoliate. This is a wonderful, gentle, but thorough exfoliation. So to use this one, you put it on at night and you just leave it on overnight, and it works its magic while you sleep. So it has that low pH combined with those alpha hydroxy acids that really break down all those dead skin cells. So moving right along, microdermabrasion facial. This is going to be another exfoliant option. Just a quick note about exfoliants while I'm going through all of these. Such an important part of your skincare routine. Exfoliating is going to, of course, take off all those dead skin cells that can dull the complexion and clog pores and cause breakouts. But you don't want to over exfoliate the skin either. So what we typically recommend is choosing one exfoliant per evening. So we're putting Super A serum in that category of exfoliants, even though it functions a lot differently than a physical exfoliant or an alpha hydroxy acid. It's still increasing cellular turnover. You're still, kind of sensitizing the skin a little bit. So we typically encourage people to choose one per evening. And if you're using that microdermabrasion facial, that's your exfoliant for the evening. And that one's typically twice a week. You can move it up to 3 times a week, depending on your skin type. But this is going to be that really deeper level exfoliation. It's a combination of the physical exfoliants as well as what we call chemical exfoliants, but they're actually fruit acids. So those alpha hydroxy acids. And they're both working in different ways to break down that layer of dead skin and really give you that deep level exfoliation that is really important to get into your skincare routine. So I tend to use this one 2 or 3 times a week. The process is really easy. You just massage it into the skin and then rinse off after about 30 seconds. You want to give those fruit acids a little bit of time to kind of work their magic. You can leave it on for, a minute even. Some people will notice a little bit of tingle from all the fruit acids. That's totally normal. If it becomes uncomfortable, go ahead and rinse it off. I would say the one group that I would steer clear with this product would be folks with rosacea. They don't tend to do well with alpha hydroxy acids, and they have to be very careful with exfoliants. Outside of that, this is really great for most folks. Again, this one can be used, in your late teens, 20s to get that deep level exfoliation. And it's also really wonderful for aging skin when, again, that cellular turnover tends to slow down. So this gives you that really nice deep level exfoliation. And there's a great kind of bridge between the times that, the treatments that you use with this one and your nighttime serums. So nighttime serums in between, and then a nice treatment with the microdermabrasion facial to get that deep level a couple times a week. All right, moving right along. Face cream, again, comes in one of those little sustainably harvested sugarcane bioresin tubes. The face cream was the first moisturizer that we came out with, and it's still one of our most popular. I think what people really love about this one is the skin really just drinks this in. It does not leave any sort of greasy residue. It's absorbed very easily by the skin, and it leaves the skin feeling very soft and hydrated. It is super packed with all sorts of actives like coenzyme Q10, and you've got peptides in this one. You've got niacinamide, which is a B vitamin, wonderful for sun-damaged aging skin, argan oil, just a whole variety of different ingredients to both hydrate the skin as well as help the skin recuperate from sun damage. And so this one's going to be great certainly for aging skin, reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, reducing the appearance of discoloration. Of course, niacinamide is a great ingredient for that. So lots of folks love this product, and it's really great for most skin types. Nice lightweight moisturizer. All right, moving right along. Eye cream. So again, one of those little sugarcane bioresin tubes. This is going to be a little bit thicker formula than your face cream. We tend to produce very little natural moisture around the eye area. And so that skin tends to become dry really easily. And it's also the thinnest skin on the face and the most susceptible to damage, which of course is why we start to notice our age often right around our eyes first. And so you really want to treat that eye area to plenty of hydration. You want to use ingredients that are specifically formulated for the eye area to reduce the appearance of under eye discoloration and reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and really just keep that area nice and hydrated. So this one contains, caffeine, kakadu plum, which is a really rich source of vitamin C. You're going to find niacinamide again in this one, a really wonderful ingredient for reducing the appearance of discoloration and just helping the skin recuperate. You're going to find hesperidin, again, that wonderful plant-sourced ingredient that's wonderful for reducing the appearance of discoloration. And then you're going to find lots of peptides in this one as well, peptides that are specifically chosen for the under eye area to reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and discoloration around the eye area. So definitely recommend this one for folks with aging skin. It's really great for most skin types, and it can be used once or twice a day. I always incorporate it in my evening routine, but it can certainly be used in the morning and evening if you tend to get a lot of dryness around the eye area. All right, moving right along, Triple C Night Cream. This is going to be really our heavy hitter in terms of moisturizers. And if you do have oilier skin, this is probably going to be too much hydration for you. So this is really for those folks with much more dry skin. And certainly if you're aging, you tend to create a lot less natural moisture in your skin as you get older. Now that I'm in my mid-40s, every ounce of moisture is trying to leave my body. And so I find that I use this one twice a day. That tends to work well for me. So you can use this one morning or evening or twice a day. We call it a night cream because really it contains so many ingredients that are wonderful for helping the skin recuperate while you sleep. The skin actually goes through a natural recuperation process while you sleep, just like the rest of your body. So it's a really great time to utilize some of those actives that we're utilizing in this product. So those 3 different forms of vitamin C, those adaptogens, those make really nice evening products, or evening ingredients. So again, morning, evening, or both, but it's going to be really nice and hydrating, and it's really going to stick with you. So moving right along, corrective peptide serum. This is another one that I personally love to use at night, but you could use morning or evening. Again, peptides are such a wonderful ingredient, particularly the ones that we're using in this one for reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, reducing the appearance of sagging skin. This particular peptide blend also has some really interesting peptides that work well to reduce the impact of environmental stressors on the skin. So that is more and more an issue with so many of us living in cities and being, exposed to pollutants throughout the day. Ingredients like this thermostressine that's in the peptide serum are really going to be helpful in reducing the negative impact of oxidative stress from all of the pollutants and heavy metals and all of that we experience in city life. You're also going to find a lot of heavy hitting moisturizers in this one. So that polyglutamic acid is going to be very, very moisture binding. You're going to find a tremella mushroom blend that we use in a couple other products as well in this one. It's a polysaccharide blend that is really, really, really hydrating. So one of the first things that people tend to notice about this one is how hydrating it is. And of course, you're also going to have hyaluronic acid in this one. So really, really great way to hydrate the skin and infuse it with ingredients that are going to be really wonderful for, again, reducing the appearance of sagging skin, reducing the appearance of enlarged pores. You've got Porotect in there, and reducing the impact of those environmental stressors on the skin. All right, moving right along. The blemish cream. So this was our first foray into a product that was really geared more toward acne. And what we really tried to think through with this product was all of the different things that come along with a breakout. So if your skin is breaking out, you tend to have redness and swelling and discomfort. And so in addition to the salicylic acid, which really does the heavy lifting of reducing the breakout, exfoliating that area that's broken out, salicylic acid is a BHA, so it's oil soluble, does a really nice job of exfoliating a breakout and helping it go away. But you also have ingredients like arnica and calendula, so a lot of skin soothing ingredients. And then you also have a lot of antioxidants in this one that are really going to help the skin recuperate. And then you're going to have ingredients like that sea kelp bioferment that really helps with the redness. Curcumin is a really wonderful ingredient for irritated skin. So you'll notice right away with this one that you've got ingredients that are really going to help calm down that area where the breakout is occurring. And then of course that salicylic acid that's really doing the heavy lifting of really getting rid of the area that's breaking out. So moving right along, Ultra Rich Barrier Cream. So this was our most recent launch. We launched it this winter, and this one was really all about keeping the very driest skin on your body hydrated. So this was kind of a first foray into a product that really was more of a body care. So this is hands, elbows, knees, feet, anywhere that you have super, super, super dry, flaky skin. This is going to be your answer to really keep that skin hydrated. We do get some questions about whether this one can be used on the face, and the answer is I would not use it as a full face moisturizer. It's going to be really heavy. I have done that, and for my skin it's okay, but like I said, my skin tends to get really dry. So for most people, I would say if you have an area, for instance, if it's midwinter, you've had a cold for a week, and you start to notice an area of like dry, chapped, red skin around your nose, things like that, or sometimes you can develop little dry patches. Again, particularly in winter months, this tends to occur. We're exposed to that forced air heat. We're going back and forth between cold and hot. Oftentimes, our skin just can tend to be a wreck. So you can spot treat with it, but it is going to be pretty occlusive. It's going to be pretty thick. And so I would definitely recommend more of a spot treatment with this one if you are going to utilize it on the face. And if your skin breaks out easily, I would just steer clear and use it as a hand cream and, elbows, those areas that tend to get really, really dry. And the effectiveness of this product really hinges on both the ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and this vegan lanolin that we're using. We get lots of questions about what is vegan lanolin. Essentially, this is an ingredient that was specifically formulated to mimic the functionality of lanolin on the skin, except to do so without the greasiness of lanolin, without the smell of lanolin. Lanolin can have a little bit of that gamey quality since it does come from sheep. And you can tend to get a little bit of sticky kind of, sticky greasiness with it. So this is a vegan alternative that's made specifically from olives and shea. And it works really beautifully in terms of sealing and hydration and really helping that skin recuperate. So you're kind of creating a layer over that area where you have damaged, compromised barrier, and you're allowing that skin to really recuperate. So really wonderful one certainly for hands and also for spot treating any place that's really, really dry. So moving right along. Clear, clean sunscreen. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with our sun care line. This is all of our offerings on one page. Just in terms of the entire sun care line, these are all going to be zinc SPFs. And we have the Daily Protective Serum, which is kind of our heavy hitter. This is the one that's really been taking off the fastest. It is a really beautiful formula. It goes on nice and clear. It's very hydrating. It has polyglutamic acid in it. It's one of those ones that you can hardly believe that it's actually a sunscreen that you're putting on, because it just does not feel like zinc sunscreens of the past. It's definitely like a next generation zinc sunscreen. It offers 80-minute water resistance, comes in an SPF 30. Like all of our zinc sunscreens, it's going to be a combination of antioxidants, which are so important anytime you're going out in the sun, and that zinc. And then you'll find lots of hydrating ingredients in these as well to really help that zinc go on smoothly and help the skin stay hydrated. As I mentioned, zinc can be a little bit drying, so you're always countering that with lots of humectants and ingredients that really keep the skin hydrated. So the next one down is the Sheer Tint Sun Serum. That's going to be the tinted serum SPF that comes in at SPF 29. One of the main differences with this one is that it's not water resistant. So this is more of like your daily SPF. I personally absolutely love this product. It feels wonderful in the skin. It goes on nice and clear. We do get some questions about the level of tint in it and whether or not it's intended to be kind of like a foundation. The answer is no. It is very, very, very slightly tinted. In fact, it's intended to be very sheerly tinted so that it can work with a whole variety of skin tones. Again, it's just kind of providing just a little bit of evening in terms of the skin tone. And then also it's really allowing that zinc to massage into the skin thoroughly. Zinc is bright white, as most everybody knows. So anytime you can counter that with a little bit of tint, it's a nice thing. The Luminizing Facial SPF, this is going to be a cream SPF. comes in an SPF 29, it has that 80-minute water resistance, and it has just a little bit of fair trade mica in it. So you get just a little bit of shimmer without, you don't look like a disco ball. There's no glitter. It's just the tiniest bit of shimmer. It feels good. It smells good. It's slightly tinted, so it goes on nice and clear. Love that product. Hydrating facial SPF is also going to be a cream SPF. Comes in an SPF 25. Does offer that 80-minute water resistance. Feels really lovely on the skin. Mix of zinc and hydrating elements and antioxidants. And then the last one is that ultra sheer body SPF. That's going to be the highest zinc load and kind of the thickest of all of the sunscreens. Again, it's coming in an SPF 40, and that's really the one you want to pop in your beach bag. It does a really nice job staying on the skin. It has that 80-minute water resistance, so it really sticks with you, but it still goes on nice and clear. Again, these are all next generation zinc. Zinc of the past was not so sheer when we first started formulating, and even before that, when we were just using zinc sunscreens, you always had to just kind of know that you were going to go out looking ghostly for a little while, and that's not the case anymore, and we're happy to say. So moving right along, the cheek and lip tint. So I think most everybody's tried these out, hopefully. Cheek and lip tints come in 3 different shades. We've got the poppy, that's kind of a bright vermilion. We have the plum, that's got a lot of dark pink berry undertones to it. And then that fig, which is going to be a really earthy red with some brown undertones to it. These tend to work well on most skin tones. Every now and then, people will have specifics. Oh, I don't like the look of like an orange leaning red on me and things like that. So we try to be really good about the description so people kind of know what they're getting into. But these can be sheared out really easily. In fact, right now I'm wearing the poppy. You probably wouldn't even be able to tell. It's very, very sheer if you want it to be. But the interesting thing about these cheek and lip tints is that you can also do a really bold lip with them. And that was kind of a function of the formula that we really wanted. We wanted it to be able to be utilized as a true, like, nice, bold lip color. And we also wanted it to be able to be utilized as a very sheer tint. So something that you wouldn't be able to even tell, just kind of that natural glow. And I think we really achieved it with this one. These are insanely clean formulas. Again, they're going to be iron oxides combined with a lot of hydrating elements, and then they come in these little glass tubs with a bamboo lid. So really nice way to get just a little bit of color. Moving right along. These are clinicals. We've recently done clinicals on a lot of our bestsellers and some of our new products as well. I'll leave you all to peruse these, but you can kind of see the vitamin C serum. This one's really going to be a wonderful one for reducing discoloration. And then we've got the clinicals to back that up. That now 94% of people saw smoother, softer, brighter skin and less discoloration. That Super A serum is really going to be about smoothing out fine lines and wrinkles, and again, reducing the appearance of discoloration. That Triple C night cream, we did clinicals on that one in terms of the reduction of fine lines and wrinkles, and 97% of participants saw improvement there. So really, really great results from these clinicals. Microdermabrasion facial, and then the last one there is the corrective peptide serum, which was really impressive. We actually did image analysis on those as well. 100% of participants saw a reduction in wrinkles and an increase in skin firmness, which is absolutely incredible. And I can say that I felt that to be true before we even had the results of the clinicals, because I've noticed such a dramatic improvement in my skin since I've been utilizing this product every night. So definitely recommend that one to folks who have mature skin and are looking for ingredients that are really going to bind moisture to the skin and really help the skin recuperate. So moving right along. All right, this is a little page that talks just a little bit about both the packaging that we're using, eco-friendly packaging. So I know most of you know about our sugarcane bioresin packaging. All of the tubes that look like they're just made out of plastic are actually made of 100% sustainably harvested sugarcane bioresin. And you can recycle any of the components from our line through our partnership with Pact. And there are drop-off bins for those in most cities. And you can also request a free shipping label from our website. There's actually a link to the place where you can request one of those shipping labels, and you can send back any hard to recycle items, and Mad Hippie foots the bill for that. So that could be safety seals or dropper tops or treatment pumps, anything that's hard to recycle within our line. And the last line is a little bit about some of the nonprofits that we've worked with, just to shed a little bit of light on the good work that they're doing. We've worked for years with Save the Elephants. They are a fantastic nonprofit. We're very happy to shed light on what they do. They have a big presence in the Samburu Reserve in Kenya. They work with local communities to reduce the demand for ivory, and also to kind of mitigate the impact of these communities living right near elephant herds. There can be a lot of strife between farmers and elephants. Elephants can tend to get into the crops, and so they work with local communities there to create partnership around really preserving the habitat for these elephants, and creating, they actually do like beehive fences between these farms and where the elephants live. Really cool stuff. Apparently elephants are afraid of bees. Who knew? So anyway, they do really cool work. I invite you to take a look at what they do as well. And you can find them at Save the Elephants, just Google searching it. And then Whole Planet Foundation, we've worked with for a long time too. They do lots of micro lending in third world countries, and really help a lot of small businesses get launched. So lots of people doing good out there, and we're happy to shine light on what they do and work with them. So if there are any questions about Mad Hippie, about our products, anything that I can expand upon, let me know. I'll keep an eye on the chat for a little bit.
Hey, thanks, Dana. And that's the last slide. And the other thing also on this slide that we want to make sure that everybody sees is that your email address, which is info@madhippie.com. And I know Dana's obviously a skin junkie and loves the questions, loves the ingredients, those sort of things. So if anybody here, any of your team members, or even the store has any question, tell them to send Dana an email, and she'll respond back to them in a timely manner. So that's great. And if there's any other questions, you can see them. There's some in the chat now, Dana.
Perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, just thank you, Jeff, for reminding about the email address. Absolutely. Feel free to share that with stores or customers or anyone who wants to chat skincare. I literally get to live my dream job over here, which is talking about skincare all day. So thank you. So let's see. I have received requests for a pink shade of the cheek and lip tint. Yes, I would like to create some more shades down the line. Pink is the shade that we get requested more than any other. So I would love to do that down the pipeline. And also, if you do get requests regularly, please do let me know what they are, because we definitely factor that in when we're trying to think of new products that we want to launch. We would love to always hear what our customers would like to see us make. So thank you for sharing that, Tayari. Let's see, can SPF body also be used on the face? The answer there is yes, you can use that SPF 40 on your face, just knowing that it is a pretty thick cream. In order to get that SPF 40, the zinc load on that one is pretty high, and we really wanted it to stay on the skin. So it is nice and thick. So if your skin breaks out easily, that'd be one thing that you would want to take off pretty quickly once you're out of the sun, because it's one of the thicker in terms of our SPF. The most lightweight for the face would be the Daily Protective Serum for a waterproof or water resistant formula. Marcus, thank you. So good to see you from Vancouver. Let's see, when someone is seeking a retinol serum, is the vitamin A serum just that? It is that and more. Thank you, Carol. Yes, it does have retinol in it, but it also has 2 other forms of vitamin A in it as well. So that HPR, hydroxypentacolone retinoate, as well as retinol linoleate are both in that one as well. And then you also have bakuchiol. So you're getting various different retinoids in that one. Retinol is one specific retinoid, and there are lots of others to choose from. In terms of retinoids that are allowed in over-the-counter products, retinol is kind of the most well-known. HPR is becoming more well-known, but there are a handful of retinoids that are available over the counter, and then there are several that are only available through a dermatologist just because of use restrictions. So in terms of like a really powerful retinoid that you can buy over the counter, the Super A serum is just that. And if you've never used a retinoid before, I would recommend starting with every other night with that one because it is potent. So also very effective. Let's see. Can the peptide serum be used with the other serums? The answer is yes on that as well. I usually recommend if somebody is new to the line and new to the products in general, I recommend starting the serums kind of one at a time. They are very active rich, and we always want to make sure that people's skin tolerates them well. If you have sensitive skin, we recommend patch testing first. But yes, the peptide serum can be layered. There's nothing in it that couldn't be layered, for instance, with your Super A serum. And in fact, I do that often. I'll layer my Super A serum with my peptide serum at night often. Or you can also skin cycle. And skin cycling, we actually just recently did an article on it, but there are various different ways to do it. But you can do, like, for instance, a night of treatment, a night of recuperation, another night of treatment, another night of recuperation. So those treatment nights would be like the Super A serum and the AHA peel, and a recuperation night could be like your peptide serum. So there, you can alternate or you can layer them, kind of depending on your skin type and your skin needs as well. But if you have sensitive skin, you'd probably want to stagger them, make sure they work with you to, work together for you. Should the daily sunscreen serum be put on top of makeup or prior to makeup application? Great question, Pam. So with physical blocking sunscreens, you always want it to be your last step. The problem with applying makeup over your sunscreen, if you're using a physical blocking sunscreen, is that when you're massaging the makeup on your face, typically you're moving the sunscreen that you just applied around a little bit, and you're essentially diluting it with whatever you're putting on the skin. So it's usually your last step. And the way that I do it is I actually just put a generous amount on my hand and I press it in over my makeup, kind of like that. And it allows you to get a layer of sunscreen over your makeup without kind of disrupting everything. That serum sunscreen is a really glowy, hydrating formula as well. And I actually think it looks nice over your makeup. If you're wearing, for instance, I wear concealer, so I'll just kind of press it on over. It doesn't move the concealer around, and you get kind of a nice hydration from it as well. Let's see. Can you please clarify if barrier cream can be used on the face? It is indicated on tube for use on the head. So yes, you can spot treat with this one, but I wouldn't recommend using it as a full face moisturizer. It's just going to be really, really thick unless you have extremely dry skin. I just wouldn't attempt that. I would say even for dry skin, I would say the Triple C Night Cream is really going to be your best option for an all over face moisturizer. The barrier cream is really going to be a true barrier cream. It's going to create a layer over an area where the skin barrier has been compromised and allow that skin to recuperate. So really best, and you can't really see what I'm doing here. I'm like pointing to my elbow, that is off screen, but elbows, hands. If you do have like the dry patch, like I mentioned, if you've been blowing your nose for a week, something like that, you could spot treat on the face, but it is a really nice thick formula that's going to do best on really the driest skin. So more hands, elbows, and then spot treatment for face. Let's see, what's coming new in the future for Mad Hippie? Are there products to look forward to? Okay, so we do actually have 2 products that are in formulation right now. So I'll be really excited to introduce them, but it's too early for me to say what they are because we don't have them named yet and we haven't like fully nailed down the formulas. But as soon as we do, I will sneak preview what's coming down the pipeline. I promise. But in the meantime, if you do hear, from customers and clients and stores, things that they would like to see Mad Hippie make, never hesitate to send those to me at info@madhippie.com because I do love to hear what people are thinking and what they would like to see from us. Can the barrier cream be used for kids and babies? Yeah, it can. It's super, super, super gentle. In fact, I've used it on my son before. His knees get really dry. He's 3. He is at that stage where he skins them and, like he'll have little places that are healing and like I'll put that barrier cream on him and it really does a nice job at kind of keeping that skin hydrated and protected so it can recuperate quickly. So yes, that said, I will say babies and kids have very, very sensitive skin. So I always recommend patch testing if there's any concern about, an allergen in that one. There's no fragrance in that product. It's a very clean formula, so it works well for most folks and there's no reason why it can't be used on kids and babies. Like I said, I use it on my own baby, so I feel comfortable saying that. But that's a great question. Kids and babies tend to get dry patches. That said, it is nice and thick. So, babies produce a lot of natural oil. They have that beautiful baby soft skin, so they probably won't need it all over their body, but great for a spot treatment. Like I said, you know, feet and knees and elbows, any place that gets skinned up regularly on kids, those areas can really benefit from a barrier cream to help them recuperate. Great question. Great. Well, I've almost used your full hour, and thank you so much for giving me all of that time in your day. I know everybody has busy, busy days, so I really appreciate your time. I appreciated seeing all of your faces today, and we just very much appreciate everything that you do for Mad Hippie. So thank you all so much for all of the love and time and energy and care that you put into our brand and into sharing the love. We are so grateful for you all. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend. Thanks, Dana.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was
Thanks,
awesome.
Dana. Bye.
You all.